time management and delegation, I have some principles. We've gotten the spiritual part. And so now I want to put some wheels on this bus so that you guys can know some practical principles of what needs to be done so you can pretty much assure your success. And so we're going to do a presentation. And so we're going to share the screen, and we're going to begin this presentation as we deal with time management, and hopefully and prayerfully you guys will receive today. So it says, how do you be successful through time management and delegation? And so my main focus is understanding the creative process, understanding the creative process. That's what we're going to deal with so you can put some success in what you're doing. Time management and delegation. Let's deal with that for a second. First thing, I want to kill a myth, and I understand why people say it, but you got to understand that time cannot be managed. It's the first thing that we must understand. Time cannot be managed. I know somebody saying, whoa, 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 pump the brakes. What do you mean time cannot be managed? God gives us 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, 12 months a year, and on and on and on with the minutes and the second. But one of the mistakes that we make as leaders, and one of the mistakes that we make as business leaders and owners, is that we try to figure out how to manage time. Instead of trying to figure out how to manage time, I want to give you something else to consider. Consider managing yourself. Listen to what I'm saying. We cannot manage time because we only have 24 hours. We have 365 days. But what we can manage ourselves. And I believe that if we become a proper manager of ourselves, grow in ourselves, then we're going to get a grip on the time. And then what people usually say, I'm gonna have time management. It'll be more effective when you learn how to manage yourself. So always remember, when you're talking about time management, it's more about managing ourselves than it is managing the time. We still have those 24 hours. We still have 365 days. But I believe that we focus on managing ourselves and growing personally, time management is going to pretty much be automatic. So there are 5 processes that I want you guys to clue in on in my few minutes that I have left. I want you to really zoom in, because we're talking about not just time management, but we're talking about the 5 periods of the creative process. If you want to be successful, if you really want to be successful, just like the host said, then we have to begin to walk this thing out. What is your dreams? What are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish? What is it that you're trying to do? So the first step in the creative process is illuminate. That's the first thing you want to do. You want to illuminate. And so under illumination, we want to be clear about what it is that you're trying to accomplish. When you're illuminating, picture a light, and that light is focused on the object. When you put that light on the object, you illuminate that particular object. That's why focus is important as we illuminate what it is that we're trying to do. Any business, any job, anything that anybody tries to accomplish, they must understand the vital importance of understanding that we must illuminate what it is we're trying to do. And then we must shine. Shine what? Shine the light on it. When you illuminate what it is that you're trying to do, then you shine the light on it. This is what we're doing. Watch this. The first part of the creative process as it relates to time management and delegation, because if you try to delegate and give somebody something and tell them how to manage their time, but you don't give them the tools, the interworkings, the nuts and bolts, then it's going to be like spinning the wheel. But if you say, listen, this is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to time manage. This is how I want you to delegate. I want you to illuminate whatever it is that you're trying to do. The first step I want you to do is illuminate. Be clear about what you're trying to do. Shine a light on it. Then you need to evaluate. That's the third step. You want to make sure that you evaluate. Evaluate what? Evaluate to determine the value and worth by assessing it. Watch what I'm doing. I illuminate it. I realized that it was dark. There was nothing. It was no form. So I illuminate. I illuminate not just so that I can see, but I also illuminate that all that is around me, everybody that's involved in the process, everyone that I would possibly delegate can also see what they're doing and evaluate, then observe. So you're going to be clear. You're going to shine a light on it. You're going to evaluate it. Then you're going to observe. Observe by watching, perceiving, and noticing everything. That's what you want to do. My father taught me years ago, as a young store manager. He taught me before I became a manager, he gave me several instructions, and one of them stays with me. He taught me that when I pulled up to the store that I managed, that I was to watch from the moment I entered the parking lot, everything. He taught me how to watch the parking lot, watch what was in the parking lot, observe the store from a distance, not just when I went in the store, but even before I put the key in the door. What was he teaching me? He was teaching me subliminally how to, watch this, illuminate everything. And guess what, guys? I realized the importance of that lesson that he taught me, that nobody never ran up on me. Nobody never robbed me. Nobody never surprised me. Why? Because I learned at an early age the power of illumination. And that is so, so important. And I hope that first point you guys begin to embrace. The second one is organize. You've illuminated. You've done all of the previous thing. Now, the next thing you need to do is organize. Certainly, you cannot organize before you illuminate. And so illumination is the second one. What am I organizing? Arrange all of the facts into proper category. This is what we're going to compartmentalize everything. We're going to, now since we can see, we're clear, we're focused, we got all of these things in place. Now we need to organize. You don't want to do anything prior to organizing other than illuminating. After you illuminate, then you organize, you arrange everything. Then you become aware of your decisions. Remember, we just left on the first one about perception. You want to be aware of the decisions that needs to be made and the decisions that you're going to make. Be aware of it. Have that in your process, in your thinking process. The third thing you want to do is take the appropriate actions. Yes, there are appropriate actions that must be taken. Nothing just happened. They must be planned. I'm going to say that again. Always remember this. Nothing just happened. It must be planned. Success doesn't just happen. Listen to this saying. Opportunities doesn't knock. Don't miss this. Listen. Opportunities doesn't knock. Opportunities sit idly by in the corner of the room waiting to be acknowledged. It goes unacknowledged at first because it seems like an unfair advantage. Once acknowledged, opportunities can go to work for you when you take the appropriate actions. Remember, people say it, and I hear it. I hear it. I know you have. Opportunities knock. No. Opportunities doesn't knock. Things doesn't just happen. They must be planned. And so you got to take the appropriate action. And then finally, under this one, be accountable for your choices. Be accountable for your choices. There are choices that have to be made, and extremely important choices as it relates to your success in business, in marriage, and relationships, whatever it is that you're endeavoring to do. Be accountable. Be able, watch this. I'll say it like this. Know how to take responsibility. That's two words, respond, ability. Flip it. The ability to respond. What is that? I have the ability to respond properly, so I take the appropriate accountability for my actions because I'm organizing, and I can't take it haphazardly of what I'm doing. I got to take it as serious as it is. And that is extremely serious as it relates to this second point, or this second part of the creative process. Number three, I hope you guys are getting this, and you guys are still with me. I hope you're getting this because it's extremely important. I have two more after this. Now you've illuminated, then you've organized. Here's the third one. Now you must create. Watch this. Don't miss this. Most times, especially as it relates to delegating and time management and what we're going to do to put legs to these dreams and goals and vision boards and all of that. First thing we want to do is create something. No. Don't take it out of order. You illuminate. You gotta, that's the first step of the process. You illuminate. The second step of the process is that you're going to organize. Then the third step of the process is create. What am I creating? You must create an environment conducive for growth. Listen to me, guys and girls. That environment includes us. I can grow a business and make millions of dollars. But if I'm not growing personally, I'm bankrupt. You want a universal growth. You want to make sure that you're growing in all areas of your life. So you want to make growing conducive with the environment. The second one is, watch this, and this will make it easier for you to remember. Look at it like you're stretching. So what are your stretching goals? It should be smart. Always remember this, like stretching before exercise, stretching before you run. Remember, stretching should always be smart. If you're going to stretch your dreams and stretch your abilities and stretch yourself, then make sure that it's smart. SMART. S is be specific. Words like more, bigger, faster, it's not specific. You want to make sure that your goals, your dreams, your vision is smart. And the first thing you need to make sure that it's specific. The next thing, make sure that it's measurable. Measurable, because when you're in this creative stage, you don't want to waste time, money, efforts, or any of that. You want to make sure that you're being as frugal and as wise as you can. So make it measurable. Without measuring, how do we know if we're succeeding? If it's not measurable, how do we know that we're succeeding? Listen, I'm gonna slow down a little bit. Any goal that is unmeasurable is not a goal, it's a wish. If your goals needs to be measurable so that you can incrementally know step by step, level by level, that you're succeeding or at least headed in the right direction. The next one, the A, is attainable. They should be something you will actually do. Not just say I'm gonna run 16-mile marathon. No, let's be more realistic. Let's be specific. Let's make it measurable. Let's stretch. Instead of saying I'm gonna run the New York Marathon, let's just say I'm gonna walk around the block. That's measurable. That's something that's obtainable. Dream big. Listen, I am probably the king of dreaming because dreaming is free. But be realistic. How many times you've bought that equipment, that exercise equipment? How many times have you bought all of those weights because it was not obtainable? You gave up on it. So make sure it's obtainable. Little bitty goals accomplished is better than big goals left unaccomplished. The next one, be realistic. They must be something, watch this, you can actually do. It got to be something realistic that you can actually do. All of these things, listen, this is so important. It might seem, a lot of times I think that we're not realistic, or we're not, we can have our head in the clouds so much that we start competing ourselves with everybody else. And then if we're not doing what our neighbor is doing, then we feel like we're a failure. No, make your goals realistic. Make your goals obtainable. Make them realistic and obtainable. Start small. Despise not the days of small beginning. There is success in little bitty goals. Listen, you know how you eat an elephant? Yes, that's what I just said. That's the question I just asked. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Nobody engulfed the whole elephant at once. You look at that elephant, that goal, that dream, and you know in your heart, I'm not going to eat all of you today, but if you keep coming back, eventually I will, because you eat an elephant one day at a time, one fork at a time, one spoon at a time, and then finally timed. Without a timed arrival, you are only creating a wish list. Listen, it's okay. The race is not given to the swift nor the battle to the strong. Remember that. It's not about who gets there first, who gets there the fastest. It's not about that. Remember, you're not competing with anybody. You have your own race to run. You have your own things to do. And so as you're in this creative process, always remember this. When you're creating a vision board, don't try to compete with somebody else. Don't try to create something you think somebody else is going to like, knowing that within your heart, that's something that you may not even do yourself. The fourth, now it's time to expand. Now it's time to expand. Expanding is the fourth creative process. Remember this: illumination first. Illuminate it. Be clear about it. Then after you illuminate, you're moving from step to step. You're doing all of the necessary things. You're going to organize. After you organize, you're going to create. And after you create, now it's time to expand. Watch this. Be a river, not a reservoir. Man, I think that needs to marinate. I can't marinate on that too long, but I want you to hear this. Be a river, not a reservoir. What am I talking about? Don't be a dead end to people's dreams, and don't be where dreams come to die. Be an ever-flowing river. I can't stay too long on this, but I'm telling you, I want y'all to hear me now. Don't be where people's dreams come to die. Don't be the end point to people's visions and dreams. Don't be a reservoir. Don't be a dead end. Be a river. Fresh dreams coming, fresh ideas. Keep it moving. Whenever there is an obstacle, decide to innovate or accommodate. Listen to me. Whenever you hit an obstacle, make a decision. It's decision time. Decide, am I going to innovate, come up with something, create something, or am I going to accommodate? Remember, you never lose. We're never failing. We're never losing. Listen, we're always learning. Oh my goodness. I need y'all to hear that. We're never losing. We're always learning. And so when someone slams a door in your face, start figuring out how to be innovative and accommodating. Maybe this is an accommodating moment, or maybe this is an innovative moment. Maybe I need to create another door, or maybe I need to accommodate that situation. Decide. Remember the big picture. Will it help you reach your goal? I believe, and I know this, and I can say a universal ouch, that sometimes we're involved in everything. Remember, being busy doesn't make you productive. Octopus, listen, an octopus on skates is going in every direction with no specific direction. Listen, being busy doesn't make you productive. Remember, if it doesn't help you reach your goal, then you have to decide, is it that important? The next one, your priorities. Is it consistent with your goals? Yeah, you got to set priorities. You're expanding now. Notice now, we're moving from level to level. We're out of illumination. We're out of organizing. We're out of creating. And now we're expanding, because this is when expansion should not come before all of the others. But there comes a time in our life, and I believe this, that all of us can expand. We're built, Jesus, don't miss this. We are built to expand. Always decide that you are a rubber band who has not lost its elasticity. Because as long as you can stretch, as long as you can stretch, you have the capacity to handle the next level. So what are your priorities? Is it consistent with your goal? And always remember this, consistency is the key to the breakthrough. Measurable. Can you have a tangible means of determining your success? I added this again because that's how important it is as it relates to this 5 steps of the creative process. As you're creating and you're in this expansion part, this expansion piece, how measurable is your goal? Can you have, or do you have, a tangible means of determining your success? You know that they won't loan you money or give you a grant if your goals are not measurable. No serious person, lender, banks, grant institution will take you serious if you cannot prove to them that it's not a wish list, but that you can tell them not only where you're going to spend the money, but what you're going to do with it, what you're going to consider, or how you're going to consider and measure success and failure. Application. Does it have a built-in focus toward action? Oh, listen to this. Whatever it is you're trying to do, these are questions that I'm challenging you with in this expansion part. The application. Does it have a built-in focus toward action? What am I saying? If whatever it is that you're trying to do in this expansion part, how can you determine if you're going to take the necessary actions or you're headed in the necessary direction that calls for actions? That's what you got to make sure. Consistency. Again, we add that again. Can you and will you repeat it on a regular basis? How committed are you to being consistent? How committed are you to being consistent? Okay, here's the final point, and I'll be done. After you've done all of that, it's time to rejuvenate and rest. Yes, rest and rejuvenation should always be a part of the process. I know in a lot of arenas, people, all they want to do is have fun. All they want to do is rest. But rest always comes at the end. And rest should have a part so often, so many days, so many weeks, so many months. You should always plan and schedule the appropriate amount of rest and rejuvenation. The first one, reorient. It will bring our thinking into focus and allow us to see clearly. It's like somebody taking a picture and the camera is out of focus and they're playing with it, or you had an eye doctor and the eye doctor tell you 1 or 2, 3 or 4. What they're trying to do, they're trying to bring your focus into clarity, bring you into focus, reorient you. You used to see it one way. You're grown now. You're in the 5th step of this. So your focus changed. The glasses you used to use or needed to use to see doesn't work anymore. You've grown now. You see things differently. And so with this reorient is a way just to be clear, to step back, to take a second look, to refocus, to make sure that you're headed in the right direction. And what used to be good yesterday can still be good, or if there's a change that needs to be made. Refreshes. These are the things that happens when you rejuvenate and rest. You're now refreshed. It will give, and I'm saying us, but it'll give you specifically another level of energy. That's what rest does. Listen, I think somebody other than me can say a universal ouch, because sometimes we're so on our grind that we forget to rest. And rest is an important aspect of growth and success. it'll give you another level of energy. Watch this one. It recharges you. It allows us to tap into a reserve we didn't know we possess. Doc, you went to the doctor and the doctor told you that something was wrong, or you thought something was wrong, and the doctor examined you only to realize you need to go home and just take a few days and rest and rejuvenate, and you'll be all right. No, you don't need medicine. No, you don't need a pill. You just need to rest. And by you resting mentally and physically, you're going to rejuvenate, because you've been created to rejuvenate. You've been, listen to me, your body is made to take care of itself. Your body is made to recharge itself. But all we have to do is just give ourselves up to the appropriate amount of rest. The next thing it'll do, it refocus. It'll refocus you. It reorients, it refreshes, it recharges, then it refocuses. It helps us to adjust our focus so we can see our situation more clearly. That's what rest and rejuvenation will do. And then finally, it revives. It renews us with energy that we lack so that we can flourish and get excited about life all over again. That's what it does. And I hope that helped and blessed the listening audience. I really do. Remember those 5 processes and you'll be all right.